Hi, everyone. Welcome to Learn English Talk podcast. We're really happy you're here with us today, wherever you're listening from.
Yes, welcome. Maybe you're at home, maybe you're walking, or maybe you're just taking a short break. Thanks for spending this time with us. And I'm Jake, and this is Learn English Talk podcast, a space for calm, real conversations in English.
Before we start, how are you feeling today? Not in a big way, just right now.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to stop and notice that.
For me, today feels calm. Not sleepy calm, just gentle. You know those days when you don't want noise, you just want a good conversation?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's one of those days when you notice small things. The sound of coffee, the light coming through the window.
Exactly. I was thinking this morning, many listeners tell us they understand English well. They listen to podcasts, they watch videos, they read posts, but when someone asks them a question in English,
They freeze.
yes, everything disappears.
I hear that so often. People say, I know the words, but I don't know what to say.
And that feeling is very human. It's not about intelligence, it's about confidence.
And about real life, because real life is not a textbook.
Exactly. People don't ask perfect questions, and we don't give perfect answers.
That's why today's theme feels important.
Yes, today we're talking about basic questions and answers in English for an intermediate level, the kind of English you hear every day.
The kind you need at work, with friends, with new people, and sometimes even with yourself.
And before we continue, just a small reminder. If you enjoy these calm conversations, you can like the episode and subscribe. It helps the channel, and it helps us continue.
Thanks for being here with us.
Okay, let's start gently. Jake, when you meet someone new, what is the first question they usually ask you?
Very often, what do you do?
That question is everywhere.
Everywhere. At a party, at work events, even when you travel.
And it sounds simple, but it can feel stressful.
Yes, because you start thinking, how much should I say?
Exactly. Too short feels cold, too long feels strange.
So I usually keep it simple. I say, I work with English. I help people feel more comfortable speaking.
That sounds very natural.
Because it's honest, and it's enough.
Yes, you're not giving your life story.
And if the other person is interested, they ask more questions.
That's an important point. Answers don't need to do everything.
They just need to open the door.
I like that image. Answers as doors.
Some doors open slowly, some open wide.
And some stay closed, and that's okay too.
Exactly.
Another very common question is, where are you from?
Ah, yes, a classic.
And again, the answer doesn't need to be complicated.
You can say, I'm from Brazil, or I'm from Italy, but I live in Spain now.
Simple, clear.
And sometimes people add a small detail, like it's a small town, or it's near the beach.
That little detail makes the answer more human.
And it invites the other person to respond.
Yes, maybe they say, oh, I've been there, or I'd love to visit, and suddenly you're having a conversation. That's the magic part. Let's talk about another question everyone hears. How are you?
The most common question in the world.
And also one of the most confusing for learners.
Yes, because people ask it, but they don't always want a long answer.
Right, in many situations, I'm fine, thanks, is enough.
But sometimes you want to be a bit more real.
You can say, I'm good, a little tired, but okay.
That sounds natural.
Or, I'm doing well, it's been a busy week.
Again, not perfect, just real.
I've noticed that learners often think they need a special answer, but most native speakers repeat the same answers all the time.
Yes, we're not very creative with that question.
Not at all. Another question that comes up a lot is, how was your day?
That one feels a bit more personal.
Yes, and the answer can still be simple.
It was good, it was okay, it was a bit stressful.
And then you can add, how about you?
That small question is very powerful.
Because conversations are not interviews.
They're exchanges.
Exactly. Let me ask you something else, Jake. When someone asks, "What do you like to do in your free time?" how do you answer?
I usually say I like reading, walking, and spending time with friends.
Very natural.
And sometimes I add nothing too exciting,
That's very honest.
because free time doesn't need to be impressive.
I agree. Many learners feel pressure to sound interesting, but normal is interesting.
Yes, normal is relatable.
And relatability builds connection.
That makes a lot of sense.
Let's talk about questions that start with, "What are you doing these days?"
That one feels more open.
Yes, it invites a longer answer, but it doesn't require one.
You can say, I'm working a lot these days, or I'm focusing on my studies.
Or, "I'm trying to slow down a bit."
That's a very human answer.
Yes, especially these days.
And again, the answer depends on the situation.
Context is everything.
Exactly.
Let's pause for a moment and talk about feelings.
Okay.
Some questions are not really about information, they're about emotion.
Like, are you okay?
Yes, that question can feel heavy.
And the answer doesn't need to be dramatic.
You can say, "I'm okay, just a bit tired."
Or, I've been better, but I'm managing.
That's a beautiful answer.
It shows honesty, but also strength.
And it sounds natural.
I think learners sometimes feel they need to hide emotions in another language.
Yes, but emotion is part of communication.
And simple words can carry a lot of feeling.
Very true.
Let's talk about opinion questions, like, what do you think about this?
Those can be scary.
Especially if you're not sure.
But it's okay to say, "I'm not sure."
Or, I don't know much about it.
That's an honest answer.
And honesty builds trust.
You can also say, "I think it's interesting."
That's a safe and natural response.
Or, "I like some parts of it."
That shows balance.
I've noticed that confident speakers don't try to sound smart.
They try to sound clear.
Exactly.
And clarity is very powerful.
Let's talk about disagreement.
Okay.
Sometimes someone asks, "Do you agree?"
And you don't.
Right. And that can feel uncomfortable.
But you can disagree gently.
You can say, "I see your point, but I'm not sure."
Or, I understand, but I think differently.
That sounds respectful.
And natural.
Disagreement doesn't need to be conflict.
It can be curiosity.
I like that. Let's bring this back to learners for a moment.
Okay.
If you're listening and thinking, "I understand this, but I still feel nervous," that's normal.
Very normal.
Confidence doesn't appear overnight.
It grows slowly.
With listening,
With speaking.
with small mistakes.
And small successes.
I remember when I was learning another language.
Me too.
I could understand conversations, but answering felt scary.
Because answering feels like responsibility.
Yes, you're putting yourself out there.
And that takes courage.
So if you answer a question, even with a simple sentence, that's progress.
Big progress.
Let's talk about work-related questions.
Okay.
How is work going?
Another very common one.
And again, the answer doesn't need to be detailed.
You can say, it's going well. Or, it's been busy.
Or, "It's challenging, but I'm learning a lot."
That sounds very natural.
And very real.
Work is rarely perfect.
Very true.
What about questions about the future?
Like, "What are your plans?"
Yes,
Those can feel stressful too.
because sometimes we don't know.
And that's okay.
You can say, I'm not sure yet.
Or, "I'm thinking about a few options."
That sounds honest.
And mature.
You don't need a clear plan to answer the question.
Exactly. Let's take a breath for a second.
Yeah,
This conversation feels slow, but in a good way.
I agree. It feels real.
And that's what we want listeners to feel.
That English is not a performance.
It's a tool
For connection.
for sharing.
For being yourself.
I want to say something directly to the listener.
Go ahead.
If someone asks you a question in English and you answer, even if it's simple, you're doing great.
Absolutely.
You don't need perfect sentences
You need intention
and practice.
and patience.
Let's do a small recap together.
Okay.
Today, we talked about everyday questions,
About simple, natural answers.
about honesty over perfection,
About context and feeling.
and about confidence growing with time.
Progress over perfection.
Small steps matter.
Always.
Before we finish, just a gentle reminder, if you enjoy these conversations, you can subscribe and join us again.
And feel free to share this episode with someone who's learning English.
Thank you for spending this time with us.
We really appreciate it.
Take care of yourself.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.